China is anti-war. It hasn't fought a war or dropped a bomb for 4 decades, which makes it unique among the big powers. War is hell. Images of the suffering of the ordinary people of Ukraine are really heartbreaking. Also upsetting is the knowledge that the women, men and children of Russia will soon be suffering too, thanks to the huge attacks on their country's economy. In wars, everybody loses. Well, except for NATO. Its military budget is booming, the share prices of its arms makers are soaring, and its global empire is growing. To understand NATO, consider one quick statistic. NATO was formed for defense of the West against the Soviet Union. By 2020, its military spending was $1.03 trillion US, 20 times the size of Russia's entire military budget. So what is NATO really doing? The good news is that there's a growing number of people who are willing to talk about that. Here are 3 voices. 1. NATO is not driven by defence concerns, but by expansion that creates sales for arms manufacturers. It's not me saying that. Top military commentators in America admit it. The Bible on this topic is The Spoils of War by Andrew Coburn. He gives example after example of how US foreign policy is driven by the profit margins of weapons makers. It's an astonishing book. Read it. 2. Asians aren't buying into NATO's mission to create negativity against China. Asia Say No to NATO is the title of a popular essay by Singapore's Kishore Mahbubani. Southeast Asians generally accept China as an important partner for their development plans, he points out. 3. Some writers, like Norman Solomon in Salon magazine, are telling the bald truth in plain language. He writes that NATO is undoubtedly an alliance for war with virtually nothing to do with defence other than the defence of vast weapons sales. There's another glimmer of hope. The victims of the latest conflict don't have black hair. Their white skin and fair hair means that the Western world will see them as human beings rather than as faceless Iraqis or Asians or Yemenis or Somalians whose suffering can be ignored. Awareness that war is evil is important. The fact is, China's anti-war stance makes a better model for humanity than NATO's expansionist, arms-driven one. An increasing number of people realise that this planet doesn't need more war. It needs more peace. Goodbye.